Every year, as December arrives, cities begin to glow. Streets fill with lights, windows change their displays, and familiar songs return as if they had been waiting quietly all year. People exchange greetings, wrap gifts, and mark the same day on their calendars without hesitation. December 25th, Christmas Day. Most of us grow up believing one simple idea, that this is the day Jesus Christ was born. It feels official, certain, almost beyond question. But there is a quiet truth that rarely gets mentioned. No one actually knows the exact day Jesus was born. Not historians, not theologians, not even the earliest Christians. And once you realize that, a much bigger question appears. If no one knew the date, why did December 25th become Christmas? If you read the Bible carefully, you will find many stories about Jesus' life, his teachings, his journeys, his suffering, his death and resurrection. But you will not find his birthday. There is no month, no day, not even a clearly stated season. In fact, some details suggest that a winter birth may not have been likely. Certain passages describe shepherds watching their flocks outdoors at night. In that region, during the coldest months, shepherds usually brought animals indoors. This detail alone proves nothing, but it tells us something important. December 25th did not come from a birth record. So where did it come from? Another fact surprises many people. In the early centuries of Christianity, followers did not celebrate Jesus' birth at all. For early Christians, the most important events were his death and resurrection. Those moments represented sacrifice, salvation, and hope. Birthdays, especially of religious figures, were not considered essential. Some early Christian writers even criticized the celebration of birthdays, seeing them as pagan traditions rather than sacred practices. For a long time, there was no Christmas as we know it. Different regions honored Jesus in different ways. Some remembered his birth in January. Others did not assign any date at all. In short, Christmas was created later. Everything began to shift around the 4th century. Christianity was no longer hidden, no longer illegal. It was spreading rapidly across the Roman Empire. With growth came a new challenge. If a religion was going to unite millions of people, it needed structure, shared rituals, shared stories, and shared dates. A faith practiced by vast communities could not rely only on memory. It needed moments in the calendar, times when people would gather, remember, and return. And so, slowly, the idea of celebrating Jesus' birth began to take form. But one question remained. Which day should it be? One long-standing explanation comes not from history, but from theology. Some early Christian thinkers believed that great prophets were conceived on the same day they later died. According to early tradition, Jesus was believed to have died on March 25th. If conception happened on that same date, then 9 months later would lead to December 25th. This reasoning was not scientific, it was symbolic. Life begins on the same day it ends. A perfect circle, a complete design. To believers at the time, this symmetry felt meaningful. It gave December 25th a sense of spiritual order. But even this explanation was never meant to prove an actual birthday. It simply offered a reason to choose a date. By now, one thing should be clear. None of these explanations claim that Jesus was truly born on December 25th. They suggest something else instead, that this date was suitable. And there is another important reason, because long before Christianity adopted it, December 25th was already significant. In the ancient Roman world, late December marked a turning point. The darkest days of the year were ending. The sun was slowly returning. Light was overcoming darkness. People celebrated. They lit candles, shared food, and stepped away from ordinary labor. It was a season of renewal, hope, and emotional release. By choosing December 25th, Christian leaders placed the birth of Christ within a time already associated with rebirth and light. For people living in that world, the symbolism was powerful. When all these pieces come together, one truth becomes clear. December 25th was not discovered through historical evidence. It was chosen. Chosen to unify believers. Chosen to create structure. Chosen to align theology with culture. This does not make the date meaningless, but it does change how we understand it. Christmas is not about marking an exact moment on a timeline. It is about remembering an idea, light entering darkness, hope arriving in the world. You might wonder why this history matters at all. After all, people do not gather on December 25th to debate ancient calendars. They gather to connect, to reflect, to slow down. Understanding the origin of the date does not take meaning away from Christmas. If anything, it makes the tradition feel more human. It shows how stories evolve, how beliefs adapt, how meaning is created over time. Christmas is not frozen in history. It is a living tradition.